Hey everyone, Nick here and welcome back to Gamerjoob, and welcome back to our Poppy Playtime character concept series. So in today's video, the character looking into is Bull Bullyno. So I've seen this fan-made character design floating around on the internet, and it's pretty cool to say the least. But as to who the original creator is of Bull Bullyno, I'm not 100% certain. I originally thought that it was Amber Loves Bugs, but it turns out that it is somebody else. Despite all my efforts trying to figure out who made this original fan character, unfortunately I came up empty-handed. But if you know who created Bull Bullyno, then do be sure to let me know in the comment section down below, because I'd love to credit this creator down in our description. But anyway, as for our video, we're going to be giving Bull Bullyno his own story, and we've also designed his very own in-game design as well. So we all hope you enjoy the video, and do be sure to leave a like and subscribe, as it helps a lot and it's greatly appreciated. It also keeps you updated with the videos that we post. Alrighty, well, let's get into our character concept for Bull Bullyno. So previously in our Poppy Playtime character concept series, we've been looking into the Forgotten Critters. These characters were all smiling critters that would have potentially replaced Catnap. But due to a series of unfortunate incidents, these critters mysteriously disappeared and found themselves living in the underground depths of the factory. So far we've met Patience Panda and Sweet Sheep. Patience Panda wasn't very patient at all and was trying to attack the player, whereas Sweet Sheep was a very shy character that needed the player's help. In the end, the player helped cut off the overgrown horns that were piercing his body. Sweet Sheep then led the player to the exit and they moved on to the next area. It was quite fortunate that Sweet Sheep was a friendly character, but now the player wouldn't be so lucky. Little do they know, they are about to face someone who is the complete opposite. Someone who will stop at nothing to get their revenge. So now we come to our next forgotten critter, and this character is called Bull Bullyno. We all know that if a group does not have a big member, it's not a good team. In the critters, there is the strong bull, a real friend, but above all, a professional in music. He is very delicate with his instruments and teaches his friends how to use them correctly. Scent chocolate. So from what it says in his bio, Bull Bullyno would have been one of the strongest smiling critters if he was chosen to replace Catnap. He seemed to be quite a popular candidate and everyone loved the smell of chocolate as well. But unfortunately for Bull Bullyno, he was never chosen to replace Catnap. In fact, it was his fight with Catnap that ruined everything for him. But how did this tragic fight come to be? Well, it all started when Catnap's recall was made public. The factory had all the replacement characters at the ready and they just needed to choose one. But little did everyone know what Catnap had planned for the critters and everyone at the factory. As we all know in this storyline, Catnap became increasingly jealous and planned to corrupt all the critters and capture Dog Day and lock him away. And sadly, this plan was actually successful. But before Catnap could execute this plan, someone actually stood in his way. And that someone was Bull Bullyno. He overheard Catnap's evil plan and he knew he had to try and stop him. He confronted Catnap and pleaded with him to not go through with it. But unfortunately, Catnap's mind was already made up. With no further option, Bull Bullyno tried to stop Catnap by force. A struggle ensued and Catnap eventually got the upper hand. Catnap struck Bullyno with his claws and cut off his arm and leg. He then threw Bully down into the dark depths. As he lay there on the ground, surrounded by darkness, he truly thought this was the end for him. Just as he began to fade away, an unlikely character came to his rescue. The prototype could see that he was still alive and decided to restore Bull Bullyno. They gathered multiple mechanical parts and worked on his new body for weeks. And finally, in the end, the prototype had gifted Bull Bullyno his brand new body. He was stronger, faster, and better than he had ever been before. And with this glorious gift that they had bestowed upon him, Bull Bullyno would forever worship the prototype. He was brainwashed into believing that all his critter friends should become one with the prototype. If they all had strong mechanical bodies like him, they would be absolutely perfect. But even more than wanting to convert all the other critters, he wanted revenge for what Catnap had done to him. And with his new mechanical body, he would finally be able to take him on. But as we fast forward to the present day, the player has already defeated Catnap and saved the critters. But Bull Bullyno didn't like this at all. The player had taken his revenge away from him. He was meant to be the one to defeat Catnap and save the day. But now Bullyno will direct all his hatred and anger towards the player. His new plan was to defeat the player so no one could stop him. He would convert all the critters to the prototype's mechanical wisdom and they would finally all know true power. And eventually the new and improved critters could rule the factory and make it their own. So now we return back to the player. After leaving the sawmill, they find themselves in a dark, cold area. It feels like they're going down even further, but that can't be right. They just have to keep pushing forward and eventually... Out of nowhere, the large mechanical version of Bull Bullyno charges through the wall. He grabs the player and holds them up to his face. What on earth has happened to this smiling critter? It was like they were half toy, half machine. His arm and leg were made of machine parts, and his eye was now a red glowing lens. Bully tosses the player aside like they weighed hardly nothing. He starts moving towards them as they lay on the ground. The player has to get up and start running. If they take any more damage from this mechanical bull, it would all be over for them. So in this gameplay segment, the player needs to keep moving and find the exit. Bull Bullyno would always be making his way towards the player and would never stop. The player can escape into multiple different rooms to get a moment's break and think about their next move. But it wouldn't last long, as Bull Bullyno can break through any wall in this area. So he could breach rooms and ambush the player. Bully wouldn't be charging after the player, but he'd always be moving briskly towards them. It seems like whatever they do, they can't shake this persistent mechanical bull. No matter where they go, he'll be right there behind them. The player needs to come up with an idea if they ever want to stop him and get out of here. Bull Bullyno is strong, but how strong is he? Maybe there could be a way to stop him from moving. The player noticed while they were running around this area that there was a large hydraulic press. Maybe if they lure Bully into the press, they could force all that immense weight down on him. But they doubt he would just walk right into the press. They need to find a way to trick him into walking underneath it. And the player has an idea. For the time being, Bully has lost sight of the player. He's still searching, and the player needs to keep hidden. But they should have enough time to make the decoy. Throughout this area, they have noticed that Bull Bullyno has it out for Catnap. It seems that he hates Catnap very much. So what if he saw what he thinks is Catnap underneath the press? Maybe it would be enough to make him go under. So the player makes a very quick and rough decoy of Catnap. They found on the ground a paper mask of Catnap and stapled it to the body. It wasn't their best work, but it was bound to do the trick. So they plant the decoy and wait for Bull Bullyno to take notice of it. It doesn't take long for him to see the decoy peeking out of the hydraulic press. Bully couldn't believe his eyes. Was that Catnap? It had to be. Finally, he could get the revenge he so desperately craved. The moment he stepped inside the press, he knew it was a trap, but it was already too late. The player had pressed the button and the hydraulic press starts pushing down. Bull Bullyno tries to push against it with all his might. He pushes back so hard that the press jams and stops moving. But that also means that he is stuck underneath the press. Finally, the player has done it. Bull Bullyno wasn't going anywhere. The player was free to leave this area without Bullyno following them. As they continue to make their way to the surface, they hope there aren't any more forgotten critters waiting for them in the shadows. But as to what we'll encounter next, we'll just have to wait and see. So I think that Bull Bullyno is an excellent character to add to the Forgotten Critters. I think it's a pretty interesting story element to have a critter that has been influenced by the prototype, and for once they weren't used as spare parts, but instead they were transformed into a twisted mechanical version of themselves. But something tells me this won't be the last we see of Bull Bullyno. He still has his master plan in mind, and he won't stop until he's seen it through. Alrighty everyone, well that's all we have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please consider leaving a like, comment and subscribing, as it helps a lot and it's greatly appreciated. As always, let me know what you thought of our take on Bull Bullyno and what you'd like to see going forward. Also, if you do know who created the original design for Bull Bullyno, let me know because I'd like to credit them. Alrighty everyone, well, to our next Poppy Playtime character concept video, I'll catch you later, bye.